Welcome back to Weekend Today. The Queensland Government has apologised after incorrectly fining drivers for not wearing seatbelts properly. It's resulted in a loss of licence for some drivers. The Transport Department has identified a fault in the system, accidentally issuing double demerits to almost 2,000 people. For more, let's bring in today's talkers, Queensland Opposition Leader David Crisafulli on the Gold Coast and commentator Carmen Braidwood here in the studio. Hello to both. Hello. David, I want to start with you. This is in your home state, the Transport Minister there apologising. Should he be doing more to rectify the mistake, taking more responsibility?
Oh, absolutely. It's the talking point of the state at the moment. And you've got to unpack it that as a result of what's happened, you'll have people who lost their licence who shouldn't have. And think about the repercussions of that. In many cases, that means they may not have been able to get to a job. That could have implications on your ability to keep a roof over your head. That has an implication on your family life. It is real. And for your Queensland viewers, they'll know this, but for your interstate viewers, it's the same minister who continues to preside over scandal after scandal, and that's Mark Bailey. Last month, we had a $2.5 billion cover-up of a blowout of a program. And I think Queenslanders this morning are thinking that someone should have their licence taken away, all right? It should be his licence to be a minister.
Carmen, what's next? Compensation?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's only fair. It was nice to see a fairly genuine apology. This is on us. We're going to address it this morning. I think that's something at least, but probably cold comfort if you have had your licence taken away and maybe lost your job. And it puts the other states on notice. I know where I come from in the West, there's been a trial. Massive numbers came through. It really upset people. 10,000 people not wearing seat belts, over 60,000 mobile phone use. And it gets you thinking, well, are we that unruly on our roads? If this data is wrong, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on. The cost of living crisis certainly escalating. More and more Aussies, it seems, being forced to find a second income. 1 in 15 people now have multiple jobs, up 7% in a year. David, is enough being done to ease the burden many people are facing out there?
It's another cost of the cost of living crisis, and it's real. And every person I speak with at the moment tells me about the great challenges just to keep a roof over their head. And this is a direct result of all of those rising pressures. So in the end, the everyday person can get another job and can work a bit harder and try and cut back. But it's those underlying costs that are just making life unbearable. So it's up to governments of all levels, of all political persuasions. It is up to governments to find ways to lower those costs. So let's be stronger on keeping the community safe to drive down insurance premiums. Let's be better in the way we deliver affordable, reliable and sustainable electricity to drive down those power prices. Let's not find ways to always just accept rise in all of those fees and charges when it comes to car rego. They're the things that people need at the moment more than ever.
Carmen, people are already pretty tired. A second job, that's exhausting.
Isn't it? Imagine having to work all weekend if you've worked throughout the week, or work your evenings if you've already worked during the day. But let's face it, if you bought a house maybe 4 years ago, how are you going to cover the cost?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to finish on this one very quickly. The Macquarie Dictionary has updated its dictionary, with 3,000 new entries to catch up with our rapidly changing vocab. Among those terms added situationship, doom scrolling, spicy cough as well. David, are you using any of those day to day?
I spent the last 12 months telling my daughters to stop using words that don't exist, and this morning that defence has been absolutely shattered. So where to from here for me? Doomsday, doom scrolling.
Come on, you're not that old, surely.
Oh, my goodness. Where do these words come from?
What about
anyway, it shows you that the next generation are creative. Let's work with it. Let's put it. It's now official. And to my girls watching at home, I'm sorry. Got it right.
I'll catch you on the talk. Carmen, what about you? Bachelor's handbag is one I'm familiar with as a single lad.
I love when they put these words in the dictionary each year, and I really love to go through each of the words on the list and create a little quotient for how hip I still am or am not. And I am happy to report at 42, I'm a 9 out of 10, so I'm doing okay. But if you want to play that game at home, just check them off the list and see how many of the words you're across.
You're both doing very well. Very hip, very cool. David, Carmen, thanks so much for your input on Weekend Today. It's 8 a.m. Here are today's top